stimulus check, your cash act, and your third stimulus, multiple stimulus check. Meantime, the EIDL grant goes live tomorrow. Will you get $10,000 or will you get something else? Or will you get a lot of confusion as well? Will you be getting the $300 of FPUC today, tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday? When's that coming? When SNAP benefits going to kick in? And when is all the other money you're wondering about? In this special recording tonight, I'm going to go over routing times of what's coming and when they're hitting. And then I'll be going over some of the stuff that I hear that is so wrong. So I want you to be prepared for wrong stuff. So I don't have to answer it after the fact because I don't want you to do something wrong that you heard somewhere else and then I have to fix it because then it may be too late to fix it. And so we'll have a lot of laughs with that because some of the stuff is hilarious, but this is actual advice that people are giving out there and it's really sort of wrong. And so let's get rocking and rolling. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. Also, go to the front channel, hit the alert button, and like this video. Thank you for watching Evening's LA Check, on which was taped tonight. I went back to taping instead of going live, so I appreciate you for watching it taped as much as live. The breaking developments across the board on your $2,000 stimulus check now is that all indications suggest that you're going to see the $2,000 stimulus check introduced as a bill as Cash Act 2021, somewhere maybe around after Wednesday. I don't expect it before Monday or Tuesday for the obvious reason that people are voting in Georgia. And you don't want to tell them that, hi, I'm from the Democratic Party. I messed up a really important bill about your $2,000 stimulus check by giving it to rich people. So you presume that you keep your mouth shut before Tuesday, and then after Tuesday, then you go fix the bill. But fixing the bill will take all of a few minutes. Put it to the House floor, pass on the House floor, send it to the Senate, and then you're on your way. If the two seats in Georgia go blue, then the Senate will be blue. They'll fly those winners. They sound like they're American Idol going to the Hollywood week. Fly those winners out of Georgia to DC for the Hollywood week, where they perform live before Shakira and J-Lo. And then they will be sworn in and they'll be given here's the Cash Act 2021. First item of business, sign this and a vote in favor of it. And you could see it land on the president's table as early as this weekend. And then you would see a stimulus check going out Monday next week and then land in your bank account as early as Wednesday next week. So this could be a very, very fast turnaround. So I want you to stay focused with me. Hashtag is hashtag stimulus check 2000. You want those Democrats to go to Hollywood week in DC and do their best impersonation of signing a $2,000 stimulus check as fast as they can. That's the first item of business. Second one is the $600 stimulus checks. How quickly will you see the $600 stimulus check? When should you be worried? I don't want you to be worried about your $600 stimulus check electronically through at least Wednesday. So if you haven't gotten it, don't worry. Paper check, no one has gotten it. So you are not an outcast. It's not like you're walking down the street with Nancy Pelosi's hairstyle. You are part of one of us. If you have not gotten a paper check, don't worry. If you've not gotten an electronic receipt, electronic deposit by next Wednesday, then we'll talk about then. But if you haven't gotten it since now, don't worry about it either. Not worrisome. So that's that for the $600 stimulus check. Let's cut to the FPUC. The FPUC $300 that goes on top of your UI and PUA. Some viewers have seen it, some have not seen it, and I mean physically received it. What I've been telling viewers is the following, is the words pending and processing. Normally, when you hear those words for something for unemployment, you're like, well, it's because I certified, so it's on its way. It'll probably be here in a day or two. Between you and I, what I'm saying is when you hear those words, at least for the next few weeks, don't believe it until you actually receive it. We don't know if pending and processing means that they're waiting, that the state is waiting to get their money from the federal government Department of Labor. And till then, you're still pending. You see what I'm talking about? Or you're still processing because they're waiting to get their money before they send you your money. I don't know. It's too hard to predict. Clearly, you saw earlier today we had Tyrell out of New York. who got $300 already paid on December 30th for New York. We had a viewer, Barbara Perez, told us a few viewers in Florida got paid in Florida their $300. One viewer in Ohio got paid their $300. So I don't know why Florida or New York may have gotten their $300. There's two possibilities. They actually got the money from the federal government, which I don't think is the case, or that they said, hey, we're going to get the money from the federal government. We have enough money in our bank account. We'll pay the $300 to our citizens. And then when we get the $300 from the federal government, we'll debit it back. That's what I think they're doing. Bottom line is, if you show pending or processing, don't go buying $300 worth of $12 ice cream, presuming it's going to be there right away. Wait until it gets there the first time. After you see that first check of $300, then you have an idea of how long it's going to take for this. Next, SNAP benefits. SNAP benefits, a 15% increase. They should start to post by no later than Wednesday. Viewers have gotten SNAP benefits as early as the 30th. Some have not, so don't worry about it. A lot of viewers have not seen the SNAP appear yet. The pandemic EBIT, if you have a kid who's staying at home that cannot go to school because of the school is closed, you can get about 150, 114 or 154, I always forget the number, by calling up SNAP and adding that additional child per child. So if you have 3 kids home from school, it's like $300, $400 a month on top of that. So SNAP is a lot of money. If you're not on SNAP, get on SNAP. Generally, it's about the same eligibility as the stimulus check. Call up Department of Agriculture tomorrow, DOA, and get on it. It pays in Hawaii a family for about $1,400. A lot of great money. Really, really good news. So that's that. So what's happening then tomorrow that could go live tomorrow, could go live in the next few days? One of the first things that could go live is the EIDL grant. Now here we're going to have some fun. We're have some laughs here because these things actually happen. And I know that I've done EIDL since April 25th. So I've done close to 400 videos of EIDL. Along the way, other people have done EIDL and they've done them wrong. And when they do them wrong, it's just hilariously funny. And it's also sort of sad because they at that time, some of those channels had enormous numbers of viewers, and they just said crazy, outlandish things. Along the way, if you watched me back then, if you did not, I'll bring back an old video. There was an old video of me playing adult and a male exotic dancer, calling up SBA and asking if I can get an EIDL grant, because there actually were adult dancers trying to get EIDL grants. No, you can't get an EIDL grant for being an adult dancer. It's not funny unless you're trying to get laughs or subscribers on the YouTube channel. So it's not funny. You can't do it. But what's going to go live next week for EIDL is agricultural and low-income communities. So I have had viewers go through the agricultural EIDL grant application process before, and I've seen the insanity that erupts from it. EIDL is Economic Injury Disaster Grant. It's done by SBA at sba.gov. And when they announce, hi, we have a $10,000 grant for agricultural, people like, this is what happened last time. Some people act dumb on purpose, like, I applied, but I got denied because I'm not agricultural. What does that mean? I'm like, it says agricultural on it. Why did you apply? It says agricultural. I did not see that. Well, yeah, because you didn't read. You just clearly saw it. You just don't want to admit that you saw it. It's agricultural or farmers. That means growing crops or herding cows. I'm going to be very literal about that. So last time when I had viewers that said, wait a second, I drive the crops from the farm to the market. I'm agricultural. I'm like, no, you're a truck driver. You're not agricultural. You're a truck driver. Then someone says, I put the labels on the turnips in the store. I'm like, no, you make labels. You're not agricultural. And then the same with the farmers. Excuse me, with the herders. I churn the butter at the market. No, herders mean you actually you push sirloin around. You push sirloin around. You just go. You open the gate and you have sirloin and his sisters and brothers run around, and you just You heard them. That's what you do. That's who gets the stimulus check for EITL, not for the other people. Now, this is what happened last time. This is what happened last time, and I fully expect it again this time. Last time, certain person or persons, were saying to people online, you know what? The EIDL grant went live for agricultural. You may not be agricultural, but if you apply, you'll get first in line when the non-agricultural goes live. So you can get in front of the line in front of other people by applying the wrong way. It was the screwiest advice I ever heard in my life. And it went on for days and days and days and days and days. Do not do that. If that person does it again, which I presume the person may do it, a person or persons may do it again, do not listen to those persons. If you are not agricultural, do not apply for agricultural, presuming you're going to cut in front of a line of other people for the grant later on. And yeah, it may work, but don't do it because that's not what you're supposed to do. Uh, that's the first thing. The second one is people who just presume agricultural is a little bit broader. I've had people say, I grow a certain type of cannabis, and that's agricultural. Yeah, they're talking about agricultural. Next, the EIDL grant for the low income communities or low income communities. I'm getting a lot of questions about that. Presumably, the application will say something on that that'll make that clear. And it's probably going to go along the lines of the zip code in which your business is located, whether that business, based upon the census, makes less, the household income is less than the median average of the country. So again, if you're applying as Uber or Lyft driver and you're putting an address that is not on your tax return, that is not on your tax return because someone told you to put a different address that is a low income community. Oh, I'm going to visit you in person. As I used to say on this channel, if you're an Uber Lyft driver and you put the wrong address to put yourself in the inner city, you can drive yourself to prison. Congratulations. Yeah, don't play around with the address because they're going to check the address and say this is the wrong address. They check the address against the tax return first of all for the individual, and then for the business like an S corp or or an LLC, they'll check the address. So if you put a wrong address on purpose to get sliding into low income community, first of all, that's just so horrible you would ever do something like that. But they're going to catch you. They're going to catch you, and you can drive yourself to prison. Thank you, Rosita. What a beautiful name. That is for EIDL. Next, PPP will be coming back, and I guess I will with PPP videos. Um, PPP, before I even get to them later this week, presumably, PPP is one of those things where the problem people have is not so much the application, but the banks. And I get it. There are banks that simply do not do good service, customer service with PPP. Consider the fin banks. I did them all back in the day in April. It was Cabbage, it was Lendio. I covered them all on this channel. But you may want to consider fin banks, which are financial banks, which are online banks, different than your down the street, banks that you normally patronize, Chase and Citibank. You may consider fin banks because they do them faster. Last time the PPPs were done the fastest by the some of the locals that don't even have that aren't even 3 or 4 branches. That's all they have, and also some of the even smaller organizations. So there you go. That's for PPP. Next, after PPP and EIDL, what you and FPUC and UI and PUA next week, what could likely happen somewhere, thank you, Miss Ashley, down later in the week, is potentially the free rent, the free food, and the free internet. And this is what's important to know, that this is where we invoke Donut Guy. These are things that have a lot of money but aren't going to be around very long. And when I mean not very long, I mean maybe like 2 weeks, and then poof, gone, or a week and a half, poof, gone. I mean, I've had the examples of like Orange County in Florida where they announce things at 8 o'clock in the morning and they're gone by 9:30. That is not a joke. Those things actually happen. So the free rent, free utilities, and free internet would be provided to people who make less than about $49,000 2019 earnings, low income families. But you would have to apply. Remember, these applications are not open yet. You would have to actually get and go out and apply. I'll tell you where they are. And this really, really is needed. Kathy Marianchi said, sick and old need help. This is not helping. It absolutely is helping. So let me go over Kathy. So Kathy said, sick and old need help. This is not helping. First of all, if you're old, you qualify, and you have a if your income is under $49,000, you qualify for the free rent, you qualify for the free utilities, you qualify for the free internet, and you also qualify for SNAP, which I started the video on as well. So between the free rent, which could be 6-7 months of rent, could be $6,000-7,000, utilities a couple $1,000, the SNAP, depending on how many people in your household, about $1,000. I'm covering about $8,000-9,000 for you that is absolutely within the realm of your coverage. Now, if you don't want those things, that's a different thing. If you want to go fix a car, but those absolutely things do cover those type of services. Um, and what's how yeah, I've seen some of the comments back. How do we find out about eligibility for rent? That's a great question from the Instagram room. So it's basically going to be what I described. It's going to be if you qualify for a stimulus check, you're likely going to be eligible for rent because the people who are not going to be eligible for rent are people who are not eligible for a stimulus check. So if you made if you made like $100,000 last year, you're not going to be eligible for rent, even if you're behind on rent. They're going to start it by your income of 2019 to take people out of the application process, and then they're going to take it from there. You're going to have to obviously have a lease. This is not going to be something like you rent a room from someone because they're going to pay the landlord. These rent programs are where they pay the landlord. Now, this one, I have to admit, this second stimulus for rent and utilities and is going to be different than Biden's because Biden's will be from a federal agency where you provide the lease, the agency pays the landlord. It's going to be it's going to be one application, one website, one processing thing for the entire country. What I'm dealing with now with the second stimulus and describing it to you is literally they're going to give the money to the cities, and every city is going to do it totally different. And so that's purple. That's what we've been doing on this channel with CARES Act 1 money. It's CARES Act 1, just a new refreshing of the money. And so every state's going to be a little bit different. What's important to understand is that the the applications have not gone live. And so what I need you to know is what you qualify for. And what you qualify for is the most important thing ahead of time because these things don't stay open forever. So I saw someone just in the comments, how do I get the free rent? Excuse me, how do I get the internet? Is that internet live? No, it's not live. But what I'm setting you up to know is what you qualify for. So when it goes live, you apply for it. Let me say it another way. I'm giving you an overview of what's coming for the second stimulus package this week. And what's coming for the second stimulus package this week allows you to know, oh, this is clearly something I qualify for. This is something that I want. I'm going to be ready for when Lalate says it's gone live to pounce. When it goes live, this is. Let me reenact what happens when these things go live. Suddenly, Thursday morning, you'll get a DM from someone. It's like, oh, it went live. They're like, what went live? It went live. What went live? And then suddenly everyone will scramble. What went live? EIDL went live. Oh my God, which EIDL? It's the, I don't know which EIDL is. Oh my God, apply. And people just like swarm in and start doing things very quickly. They don't even know what they're doing. And that's sort of the reaction of how, and then they won't know where they're going and don't. And so people just start filling out applications. I don't want you to be like that. I want you to know exactly what things are ahead of time. So when something goes live, it's like, oh, it's that thing. Yeah, I know it. Yeah. yeah, I'm ready for it. Okay, I got a copy of my lease. I know my address and my landlord's address. I'm ready to go. Yeah, okay. I don't want you to just be sort of bat crazy. It's like, Also, I want you to pounce like a hawk. I want you to absolutely come in like a hawk. Just answer, hawk, purple hawk. Hawk, hawk. I want you to come in and get this moolah because it's not going to be around very long. Let me give you the example, which I'm going to mention, Polly, to purple in the face, is the EIDL grant example from last May when EIDL opened for everyone. It opened on a Monday, and it surprised everyone because it wasn't supposed to open that day. And everyone's like, oh, it went live. It went live. Oh my God, it went live. Apply, apply. And so people applied on Monday and got paid Monday evening. And the other people that applied on Monday got paid Tuesday morning. Okay, the people who applied on Tuesday, however, did not get paid Tuesday, did not get paid Wednesday. They got paid Thursday. So suddenly it took them 2 more days to get paid on Tuesday. The Wednesday people, when they went to apply, they didn't get paid on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Monday. They got paid the next Tuesday. And then guess what happened on Thursday? Drop in the comments if you have an idea of what happened to the people who applied on Thursday after they opened the EIDL grant on Monday last May. Drop in the comments if you know or recall or have an idea what happened to people who applied only 4 days into the EIDL grant on last May. I'm still seeing some hot comments. They got nothing. Yes, they got nothing. Can you imagine people for a program that went live on Monday? By Thursday, it was out of money. It's as simple as that. Now, why was it out of money? Well, maybe because of all the exotic dancers out of Atlanta that were applying, because there was an Instagram account set up to tell exotic dancers how to get the money. I'm not kidding. But the money was gone. It was literally gone. And that's why I want you to pounce because people just assume there's money for everyone. And the example I'll use right now is I see the reaction of some of you when you don't get the $600 stimulus check. You don't have the stimulus check and someone else has a stimulus check. Think about that, but then amplify it by a bigger number. Let's say the stimulus check was $7,000 and you didn't get anything, but someone else right next to you got something. It makes you very angry. So I want you to be prepared to become the hawk, the purple hawks, and just come in and pounce and get that moolah as soon as it goes live. As soon as I know it goes live, I'll put a post on the channel if I'm not recording, so you get that moolah right away with a link. Until then, I don't know what the link is or anything. Now, anything for EIDL would be on sba.gov. Anything we know the day that PPP is going live. PPP, you're going to apply at your FinBank. So if you want PPP, get ready to apply where you want to get it at. And then everything else, like rent, internet, food, we don't know where that is yet. So there you go. At the 22-minute mark, wow, that was a long one. Let me answer some of your questions he's more like a tiger than a hawk. I love that. He's more of a tiger than a hawk. Let me answer some of your questions. Some man about a Lamborghini with a PPP. Yeah, that's how it goes. Wow, questions are flying now. Um, wow, the questions are flying. Will I get the 20% increase on Social Security? That is a third stimulus check and third stimulus package. So the video we want to watch on for the 20% for Social Security is third stimulus check and third stimulus package. That's late January. That's not That's not yet. We're not there yet. Do you get $2,000 for the child dependent also? Yes. And yes, the child gets, well, the child will get 600 now, so you will get the remainder of that $1,400. Is there a maximum for food assistance? Yes, every state has a maximum for SNAP. It depends on the state and the amount changes from state to state. Will third stimulus Who is this person? Will third stimulus pay for adult dependents? Yes. Great question, Maria. Sorry, I got you out of focus there. Oh, thank you for the compliments. Um, SNAP is only for moms? No, no, single dads. Family income for $2,000. Great question. So it would phase out at about 174, about 174,000. Um, you always hear me when say 150, but well, let me say it this way: 150 for $4,000 for a married couple. But it will slowly reduce over progressively and phase out at about 174. FPUC retro is third stimulus. Hello for Virginia. What do you do if the landlord? What do you do if the landlord gave you no lease? No real help then. For SNAP, great question, Lisa. You can reach out to 211 where you live or Department of Agriculture. DOA, Department of Agriculture is who runs SNAP. DoorDash, you can get a lot of things. DoorDash, you can get EIDL um, under third stimulus, unless you're inner city now. You can get third stimulus if you're inner city now. And then you may want to get PPP as well. And you can also get PUA if you've been impacted as well. PUA, FPUC for a repair show. I received my stimulus, but no dependent pay. Hmm. Some people with low income and no kids can qualify for SNAP also. Absolutely. That's a great comment by Schemy. Hello from China. Wow. Do you think, wow, the comments are flying now. Do you, who do I need to talk to if my child didn't get a stimulus check? No one. If you got the check and someone else didn't get a check, the fix it for the stimulus check is going to be 4 months from now, 3 months from now. So just let it fly. Just don't even think about it. If you got a check and someone else in the house didn't get a check, just let it fly because it's this. You can make 5,000 phone calls. It's not going to happen very quickly. If you want to stay on the phone with IRS for 3 weeks, you can do it, but there's no website or anything like that to fix it. Um, Clark's County Services is paying for rent. Yes, congratulations. Yeah, they've been doing a lot of that for rent as well. PEBT automatically renews on the same card. Yes, it does. Yeah, I've seen Kathy with her comments. Just ignore her. It's just sort of silly. Um, do you have to be behind on the utilities? Felicia, great question. No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. It all depends. No leafs, no rental assistance generally, but we'll wait. But this is, every city is different across the country, so it's hard. You're asking me to predict every city, but generally no. But I'm not gonna say no across the entire country. Um, do you think Biden would do executive order on day one? He will. Eviction moratorium, mortgage forbearance, and student loan debt repayment. If I'm on UI and I move to a different state, what should I do? Uh, well, if you're on UI, you just tell them where you are. I just on the phone for 3 weeks. That's a fact. Yeah, you're not gonna. I would not chase down the $600 stimulus check if someone in their family didn't get it. It's not going to be a fun path, and you may not get it. Just let it slide, and chase it down when they have the fix it in a few months from now. I've been warning people about this for months. Yeah. Um, do you need to be behind on the rent? I just answered that. If you need an address to send the money, I have an address for a stimulus check. I don't know what that means. Uh, will eviction moratorium be on the Biden bill? I don't think it will be. I think it will be by executive order. It has to be done on day one, and I don't think it's going to be the CDC one, which is insane. The CDC eviction moratorium is just crazy. Um, CDC evicting, how do I apply? Oh, great question. For Jay Grand in the Instagram room. So you go to the CDC's website, that's Center for Disease Control. You download the eviction moratorium application. You have to give it to your landlord, and they give you the instructions. It's pretty easy. It's too many, it's too many pieces of paper. But there you go. Yeah, the IRS check my payment. Do not try to chase down that a missing $600 stimulus check. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, if your mindset is to chase down a missing $600, you can do it, but it's never going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Uh, retro unemployment. That's third stimulus check and third stimulus package. Do I have to submit more paperwork for eviction moratorium? Great question, Zuma. So if you did the CDC eviction moratorium before, you don't have to do it again. Assuming it's the same landlord, you don't have to do it again. POA won't let me certify. Is that a problem? No, that's a great question. I did that a little bit earlier in the video, but let me say it again. So states are going to take you from states are going to take you from a strange status to eligible. For example, one viewer in the Instagram room, he was live with us on the midday show, and his status of his application was ineligible or something like that. And just tonight, he said it went to active. So things are changing very quickly. Once it goes active, you're going to see you can certify for benefits. It's going to take a little time, so don't worry about it. Why is North Carolina? Oh, went too fast. Yeah, Samantha explained PBIT very well. Can you file for EIDL if you're on PUA? Yes, yes. But yeah, EIDL and PPP sometimes have conflicts. So there you go. And SNAP is also for people with children. Absolutely. Great, great, great comments on SNAP. Great info. Things are finally coming through. Yes, in LA, I'm on unemployment in Massachusetts and moved to New Jersey since August. Can I apply for UI in New Jersey or should I ask for a transfer? That is one of those things I just really don't know. These two jurisdictional things are very, very confusing. I would just ask the state where you are now and ask them how to do it. PUA won't let me certify. Just give it a week or two. Just give it a couple days. It's a status issue. Google your state for news articles and see if they're announcing things. For example, in California, they've done some crazy stuff for unemployment here on making applications not able to certify suddenly. So don't worry about it. For EIDL grant, credit is not an issue for the grant. I saw that question. That was a great question. Can I get help for rent even if, yes, yes, yes. Nothing impedes your ability to get rent assistance except you're too rich. That's the only thing. Another question about EIDL. Is EIDL for first responders? If you are a Schedule C first responder, but if you're a W-2, no. What do you need to do for DoorDash EIDL? Sorry, I missed that. I saw you post a few times. Let me answer it now. That was, I'm being so kind, Pachenko. For DoorDash, very, very easy. First of all, you want to watch EIDL at 1 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on this channel on Overnights LA, which is always taped and you can watch it later in the day. It goes through EIDL grants every single day and it'll explain to you how to do the application. But basically, you just need your revenue, your cost of goods sold, which is line one and line two is Schedule C, your social security number, your date of birth, your home address, your personal bank account, and that's it. So you made $7,000 DoorDash, and it cost you, I don't know, what's your cost of goods sold list? Maybe you list as zero. Then it's 7,000. It's the revenue minus cost of goods sold divided by two. So 7,000 minus zero divided by two, 3,500. You'll have a $3,500 EIDL um, loan approved, but then they'll also send you a $1,000 stimulus, a $1,000 EIDL grant. And then thereafter, they could pay you the remainder of the $10,000. What is my take on hazard pay? I think I just sense it's gonna get butchered. Just no joke about it. I just sense it's gonna get butchered. There's so many things from Biden that are big ticket items that just sound too big. And every time I hear things that are big, I've never seen these people pay anything big. Just to see sort of a trend. I haven't seen them pay anything $50,000 a person or $10,000 a person or $20,000 a person, but they keep on promising these enormous number of things, and I don't see them. Um, Lifeline grant $50,000, hazard pay $10,000, FPUC retro $18,000, $10,000 for EIDL. I see these big numbers from these people, and yet they can't get them to the finish line with anything big in our pockets. Now they do PPP, but that is because the businesses do their own little thing for PPP. But when I see these people actually get to the finish line with a big ticket item, then I'd like to see that. Um, what happened to you in LA? I'm here. Can you get EIDL grant if you just started in 2000? Great question. It, I think it's up to like February you can get it. Up to if you start a business between January and approximately February, then you can get it. But this may be different because now we're in 2021, so they may do it over a different period of time. So yeah, is this yeah? I think it's at this point it's getting a little silly. It's one thing to come on the channel and ask for questions, but when you start mocking fellow viewers, then that's, well, I'll take care of her after the show's over. Um, yeah, I'll take care of her after the show's over. Um, we should get paper checks this week, right? Yes, some view paper checks should start coming this week, but the fact that it's so slow, official Stevens, they may come into next week as well because no one has got to any of them yet, and so this is what's disconcerting. Anyone know anything know about FPUC in Ohio? How did I get you out of frame here again? Nothing about FPUC in Ohio specifically. My bank took out my stimulus check. They're not allowed to. They're not allowed to. It specifically says in the bill they can't do that. You better report them very quickly because that's a big no-no. PPP coming out this week? Yes, Rebecca. Yeah, I think it's coming out this week. I forgot the date, but I think it's coming out this week. Thank you, Melissa. FPUC tracker. I don't know of an FPUC tracker. Um, Illinois is still paying PUA, but they haven't added the $300 yet. Okay, so that's good. Tax return before third stimulus? No, third stimulus should be done by the end of the January. Is there any help in South Dakota? Um, Everything that I've covered. Um, Hoping to see a check tomorrow. Yes, I think a lot of people will see the electronic check between Monday and Wednesday, and then the papers should start arriving as well. How can incarcerated people get their stimulus check? I got that question the other day. Someone said it comes to the commissary. Someone said the inmate stimulus check goes to the commissary, and then the remainder of the check is stayed in your commissary account until you're released. That's very interesting development that I was told. I don't know if it's true everywhere, but there you go. Well, it's 39 minutes. Wow, this is a long one. So thank you for joining me on this sort of extended video tonight. I really enjoyed the time as well. Lifeline grant, I saw some quick comments. It's based upon your cost of goods sold as an essential worker. The question is whether they're going to do it off the 2020 return or the 2019 return. If the cost of goods, if you have a very big business and your cost of goods sold were 50,000, you will get $50,000 grant. If you have not subscribed, please go to the front of the channel, subscribe. Also, hit the alert button so you can alert when I next go live. And I'll see you at 1 a.m. with EIDL on Overnight Lalate. And then I'm back at 2 a.m. with unemployment, answering going over similar questions on unemployment. And then I'm back at 3:30 and 3 a.m. with early mornings LA. As always, stay informed, stay focused. Have a great evening, and I'll see you tomorrow morning and overnight. As always, stay informed, stay focused, and stay up LA for more.